Today we want to be able to state the coordinate of a point on a number line, graph integers on a number line, and add and subtract integers. So here's the number line. It's usually marked with 0 in the middle, and then each of these lines to the left and right of 0 represent integers. Remember, integers are 0, all the positive counting numbers, and then all the opposites of the counting numbers, so positives and negatives. Then just a reminder, whole numbers are the set of 0 and then the counting numbers, and natural numbers are all the numbers that we count with. All these sets are included on the number line. To graph a set of numbers means to locate those numbers on the number line and mark their points. So for example, here we want to graph the set -1, 0, 2. First thing we want to do is find -1 on the number line. Now we know -1 is 1 less than 0, so it's 1 to the left of 0. So we'll find 0, we'll move 1 to the left, and then we will make a point right there. The next one we want to mark is 0. 0 is labeled for us on our number line here. We just want to make a point where those lines intersect. And then the next one we want to graph is 2. So here's 0, and we count our marks 1, 2. Place a dot on point 2. Be sure to put the dots on the line, not above or below, because sometimes that can be confusing. We want to name the set of numbers that are graphed here. If we look at the marks on our graph, we can see that 0 is marked, and each integer to the right of 0 is marked. This arrow means, this dark arrow instead of the smaller arrow like on this end, this bigger arrow means that we're going to continue in that same pattern all the way through to infinity. Our dots start at -1, -2. So if we were going to name this set of numbers graph, first we would draw our little mustache symbols, and we'd start with the number that's the furthest to the left. So the furthest to the left we've graphed is -2. Then we'd list -1, 0. Now you can list as far as you want, but because these numbers keep going all the way to infinity, we could be listing for a really long time. So just to signify that we're graphing all the way to infinity, we put a set of 3 dots. Those are called ellipses, and those ellipses tell us that our numbers continue on this pattern forever. Now we're going to be adding using the number line. When we add using the number line, we start with our number on the left. Here's -4, so we're going to find -4 on the number line. -1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's -4 on our number line. The sign tells us which direction to go. Since we're adding, we're going to go to the right. And the number tells us how many units to the right we're going. So we are going to the right 8 units. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our solution is the mark at which we land on the number line. So this point right here would be our solution. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer would be 4. Now -1 plus -3. Start with -1 on the number line. That's right here. And we want to go, positive tells us to the right, but this negative tells us we want to move to the left. So we're going to start at -1 and go left 3. So here's where we're starting, -1. And we want to go to the left 1, 2, 3 units. And this point right here would be our solution. So if we count that, 0, -1, -2, -3, negative would be our answer. And then our last example here is 5 plus negative 7. So first we'll find 5 on the number line. Here's 5 right here. And this negative tells us that we want to go to the left, 7 units. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. And this point right here would be our solution. Here's 0, we go negative 1, negative 2. So 5 plus negative 7 is negative 2. Now you may already know how to add positive and negative numbers, but here's a neat little rule to tell you how to add. When the signs are the same, you add the numbers and keep the sign. So say you have negative 2 and negative 4. Their signs are the same. So we're going to add 2 and 4, which is 6, and then we're going to keep the sign that both of those numbers have. So we get negative 6. When the signs are different, you subtract the numbers, and then you use the sign of the bigger number. Here we've got negative 2 and 4. Our signs are different, so we're going to subtract the two numbers, 4 minus 2. And then we're going to keep the sign of the bigger number. 4 is the bigger number, and it's positive, so our answer is positive 2. Here, negative 4 and positive 2, their signs are different, so we're going to subtract the two numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2, and then keep the sign of the bigger number. Here, 4 is negative, and it's the bigger number, so our answer is negative 2. All right, so now there's a song sung to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Here are the lyrics. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it will be exact. We're not going to do different rounds. All right, so here's an example. Negative 1 plus 3. First, we check and see, do the numbers have the same signs or different signs? Their signs are different, so we're going to use the rule where we subtract the two numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we're going to take 3 minus 1, which is 2, and then our answer will have the sign of the bigger number. Here, our bigger number is 3, and it's positive, so our answer will be positive 2. All right, now absolute value. The absolute value of a number is the distance of the number from 0, and distance can never, ever be negative. The symbol we use are bars on either side of the number. For example, the absolute value of 7. 7 on a number line is how many units from 0? Of course, we know it's 7 units. 10 is 10 units from 0. Negative 100 is 100 units from 0. It is 100 units to the left, but it's still 100 units from 0. 5 minus 8, if we were to graph this on the number line, we would move to the right 5 and then to the left 8 and get negative 3. Negative 3 is 3 units from 0. Now we need to see, what is the absolute value of 7 minus the absolute value of negative 2? First, we have to figure out how many units away from 0 is 7. Or 7 is 7 units away from 0. Then we're going to keep our sign. Negative 2, we have absolute value bars around it, so how many units away from 0 is negative 2? Of course, that's 2 units away from 0. Then we simply do our subtraction, and 7 minus 2 is 5. Now we have the absolute value of 4 minus negative 3. Here our absolute value bars are on the outside. So first we have to do our subtraction on the inside and then find the absolute value of our answer. The first thing we want to do is negative 4 minus a negative tells us that we are adding 3. Remember, when we're adding different signs, we subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we've got 4 minus 3 is 1. And since 4 was the bigger number and it's negative, our answer is negative 1. Now, once we found that answer, we have to find its distance from 0, the absolute value of that number. And negative 1 is 1 unit from 0. And that's it for today.